This manga broke me. Oyasumi Punpun, or Goodnight Punpun, is a depressing manga through and through, and it is a very real manga, which is something that makes it so hard to read all the way through, especially when you're not in the right state of mind like I was when I read it. I read this manga right around the same time my dog had died, and to me he was like my best friend, so I was already in a really dark place. Now, I didn't set out to read Oyasumi Punpun as a means to feel even more depressed. I was already about 2 books or 4 volumes in by the time my dog had died, but those are the most tame parts of the story, and it only really goes downhill from there. The character writing in this manga is something that I will never be able to forget. It is so real in every sense of the word, and the circumstances around the characters is also very real. The story allows you to watch Punpun grow up in a world and learn what not having a good home environment can do to a person. This story is one that I will stand by recommending forever. It is one of the most beautiful pieces of art I have ever read. Never have I, after reading a manga, had to sit back and reflect on everything in my life and really think about everything until I read this story. Oyasumi Punpun is amazing for all the right reasons. Inio Asano knew exactly what he wanted to write when making this manga, and he wrote it. And it culminated in one of the darkest, most real stories I have ever read, but also at the same time, one of the most beautiful. To anybody who can handle dark and depressing stories and you haven't read this manga, then please do so. It is a manga that I heard nothing but praise about before reading it, and now after reading it, I know why. Inio Asano is a genius. The way he drew this manga is one of the big reasons why this manga is so amazing as well. The art is one of the big things that really pulls the emotions out of you when reading the story. Like, sure, the story itself is amazing, but the manga wouldn't be anywhere near as good if it wasn't for the beautiful art to accompany this beautiful story. Okay, that's it for the non-spoiler review. If you can handle reading a story of this nature, please do so, and it is an amazingly beautiful story that will change you as a person like it did me and so many other people. The characters in Oyasumi Punpun are actually some of the best written characters in the manga. They feel so real, and the things that the characters struggle and go through are things that anybody in real life can go through at some point in life, and so it makes them relatable as well. The characters somehow have this feel that we know it's just a manga, but it makes you feel for the characters in a way as if they're your friends too, and that is awesome. Punpun and the other characters do a lot of stupid stuff in the series, but it is all stuff that any of us could do if we were in the same state of mind. Overall, I would say the characters are amazing for how real they feel and how much it gets you to feel for the characters when they're in their lowest moments, and that is amazing. Punpun, the main character, is an extremely well-written character. We go through his life and we see all of his lowest points. What I love about Punpun's character is his relatability. He isn't anyone special. He is just a guy who is a little bit of a coward, but he tries to be nice to everyone around him, and he ends up making a lot of horrible decisions that are detrimental to his life as a whole, like the incident with Aiko's mother. In that case, it is completely understandable why he made all those decisions. We all probably would have in that situation, but that single decision caused so many problems that did not need to happen. Punpun as a character is one who has made nothing but a lot of decisions that led him to a path of depression that almost spiraled so far out of control, but thanks to the people around him, he was able to turn his life around. Punpun is one of the most relatable protagonists in all of fiction because his problems are problems that could happen to literally anybody, and that is what makes his character so awesome. Aiko, the other main character, is another amazing character who is extremely well written. She is a character that when we first see her, she is a very controlling person, but as we learn more about her character, we learn that she just wants attention because she never got any from her mother, considering her mother is a literal psychopath. Aiko was abused and was used as a way for her mother to sell her garbage water, and all of this affected Aiko into adulthood and made her a very depressed person, and the build up to the climax made all of those events even more amazing. When Punpun and Aiko killed Aiko's mother, it didn't come as a shock, and that made everything even more awesome, and when she finally ended it all at the end of the story, it just brought her whole story full circle. She never had anything her entire life, and she couldn't continue to live life the way she was, so she just ended it, making her character amazingly written. The art in this manga is next level amazing. Everything about it is good. The characters look so amazing, and the backgrounds look almost like a black and white picture, and that is amazing. What I especially love is the way that Punpun and his family are designed differently from everyone else. It gives the impression that although he's the main character, he is someone unimportant, and I think that is so cool. And the paneling in this manga is amazing as well. Inio Asano really knows how to play around with the paneling to make everything flow really well. There are 2 instances in the series that I especially love, and that is when he does a 4-page spread of 2 characters turning and then crying. In both instances, that shit hit, and I think that is because of how you have to read. It worked even better when reading it physically and having to turn the pages because of how it flows, and that is awesome. Oyasumi Punpun is a manga that I heard nothing but praise for before reading it, and after reading it, I understand why. It is a manga that, although is very depressing, it is a story that you can't put down once you start reading it, and I think that is in large part due to the character writing in this story. The characters, the art, and honestly everything else about this manga is so damn amazing, and Inio Asano is a goddamn genius for being able to write such an amazing and compelling story, and it is a story that I would recommend to anybody who can handle reading a darker story, as it is one that will make you have to reflect on yourself in a way you probably never thought you would have to, and that is what makes the story such a good read.